No surprise about the sort of game it was going to be, Mike. How did you feel your side got on?
I don't think we played particularly well. I think the events of the last week or two, I think it's just caught up with us a little bit. We've had some lads coming back today with days training into the likes of Banksy and Rides and Feeney coming on. But that's no excuse. We just weren't up to we didn't get to the pace of the game really. We lost too many first and second balls on a sticky pitch. Too many fouls away. I think they do it well. We spoke about Newport doing well. They get the fouls, they shout around, roll around, and then there's more balls coming in your box. But we have to be better with the ball. You know, we have to be better with the ball. We have to be a bit more braver. But we just looked like we were off at a yard. I think again with them players that are only just coming back in. I think we just looked the yard short, to be honest. And then obviously the sending off doesn't help things. You know, we have a little rally up. But it wasn't to be. But it was disappointing. It was disappointing because we've been at a good tempo recently, and today we weren't at that tempo today. But fair play to them. They make it hard for you. They're good at the dark arts as well. And again, but a goal. I said to the lads in there. Sometimes every time we come into a scrappy game, usually a very scrappy game, set plays, you've got to be good on them. Never come here yet when it's not been like this. So again, we give a set play away, and we've got to defend it better than that. So sometimes you come here, you just grind the result out. Not pretty, but today we didn't do that. We give ourselves a little bit of uphill, and then with the sending off, then we're up against it then.
Yeah, quite a few free kicks around their penalty area, and perhaps just didn't quite make the most of it today, or was it just that they defended too well against you?
Yeah, I'd say that. I think they defended well, and it was the quality wasn't really there. But I was more disappointed with us on the ball, to be honest. Like I said, we just looked the yard off, and then them battles and around the pitch. I don't think we won enough of them. First balls, second balls, and if you don't win them, sometimes you don't get the control you need to actually get on the ball. I thought when we actually made a couple of passes, we started to settle down and looked like we were going to open them up, but we didn't carry on with that. We were just too wasteful with the ball to get going.
You made the substitutions. We saw a little bit of Jack Young there. You know, he looked quite tidy and neat on the ball, and didn't do too badly for the first.
Yes, I think obviously you're always looking for some positives when you're in some sort of defeat. I think he come on and did well. He showed what he's all about, so that's a good thing for us. He's come in and fitted in well in a game which he was not supposed to really come on. We wanted to have a look at it first, but he's come on and I think he's done really well in it.
And Kane Woolery is getting his match fitness properly in 90 minutes each game, perhaps not ideally the way you would like to ease him back either.
No, it wasn't. I think we looked at it from the side. We were watching him. We were thinking, could we get a little bit more support to him? We were thinking about a couple of things there. And obviously the plan was then, after 10 minutes in the second half, was to then go to the next change and try and get a little bit more support. But obviously it went when we got the sending off. So that's something that we'll look at as well. But yeah, he's grafting, he's trying to get his fitness as he's playing. I think he was an handful, but I think we needed to be a little bit more savvy around him, get some more support, be better with the ball into him as well, and look after the ball when it came, because otherwise you can't get going.
You've touched on the send-off a couple of times. Did you get a good view of it or not?
Yeah, I've just looked at it back now. The lad goes to pass the ball. So he goes and passes the ball. His leg's out. He makes the pass. Their lad's got a straight leg on his foot as he passes it. Ball goes through and then he catches him with his other leg. So it's very very strange. I don't think it's sending off, but he was rolling around all game anyway. You know, they're screaming and shouting, and then there's 3 or 4 bumps around the ref. So that's the game. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. You've got to be cleverer than that.
It's like the easiest games on your travels. You know, I mean, a great battling point last week at Salford. You know, a point team would be great today. But now you've got a couple of home games to try and do one of it.
No, definitely. I just said that to the lads in there. I think we've got it now. We've got to bounce back in these 2 home games, show a good response, get some more players back. Hopefully, we're still going to be short again moving forward into these next couple of games, but make sure we get everyone ready to go again on Tuesday and obviously next Saturday. But it's disappointing. We are disappointed, but we know some of the reasons why, and the group know that, and we just need to make sure, with no excuses, we're better no matter what team we have out. We've got to be better with the football, and you've got to be more competitive. I don't think enough of us have just said to the boys in there, hand on heart, did you really come out and say, look, I was at it today? And I don't think there was enough of that, and I think that comes down. I think that's the bottom line, really.
Good to see three of the lads back today that missed last week. Anybody else that might feature on Tuesday night?
Maybe there's a couple still no, because of the protocols, and there's some still isolating as well. So at this moment in time, maybe one, but at the moment no.
And you brought another loanee Sam Smith in yesterday, striker from Reading, who Paul Lewis will know from his Cambridge days.
Yes, it was like a bit of business at the end there. We knew we had to try and get another forward player in to give us that depth in the squad, especially with what's going on at the moment. People coming back from injuries and people not playing a lot of games. So the tendency is that you can pick up a little more injuries. So we need to make sure we had good quality to come and step in and push the group on.
And still much too early to the league table, but as you say, 2 home games now, that can make a huge difference, can't it?
Yes, it can. I always try and be honest. With you. We're disappointed. With how it's gone today. But we know what we've got to do now moving forward, going into these 2 home games. But we set a standard of fight and graft in the last how many games, which we've just come off that today. Whether that's to do with, like I said before, little bits that are going on off the pitch with the COVID and the injuries. But it wasn't us today. I'm not making no excuses.